Introducing your next fighter, out of the blue corner, Greg Sun.
Well, there is no shortage of motivation for Greg Blackhole Sun to get back in the cage and compete. Walks tonight 1-1 as a pro, with his one win being via knockout. And Luke, it's been just over a year since his last fight after having a 3-1 run as an amateur with a 100% finish rate.
Yeah, and look, the guy he lost to, I watched the fight obviously in preparation for today's fights, and he was a very good striker. Greg was a little bit overmatched. Again, that can happen certainly when you're trying to make a name for yourself and you're trying to fight on any show you can, and you're just at the beginning of your journey. But I would say overall the tape shows someone who's active. He likes to get going pretty quickly. You're going to see he's predominantly a kicker. He does have some other parts to his arsenal, but predominantly a kicker. And they're, once again, trained at a very, very good gym.
Yeah.
He should come prepared tonight.
He describes himself as a flow fighter. He said, you know, I played rugby for most of my life, and mixed martial arts not only has given me that physicality that I missed, he said flat out, mixed martial arts has given me my purpose in life. He said, when I get in the cage, that's my time to open up. That's my time to let my weapons flow. Speaking to him, he's got a real unique personality about him.
Yeah, no doubt. And I love the nickname, Blackhole Sun, the Soundgarden album.
I mean, it's a classic song, classic album.
I'm sorry, I'm going to do an old guy thing here, but that album is very good for all the young people out there.
Not Down on the Upside. That was the follow-up album.
Right.
Both were great, though.
Yeah, both were great. And again, this is what mixed martial arts is really all about, which is interesting, unusual, sometimes quirky characters.
Well, to make another Soundgarden reference, it is a super unknown if Greg Sun will walk away with a victory tonight as we await his opponent. Back to Drew Phoenix.
And his opponent, out of the red corner, Rashad Lochart.
Following a 4-1 campaign as an amateur with 3 first-round knockouts, Rashad Lochart rode that momentum into his pro career with a second-round knockout in his debut. But Luke's just saying he has knockout power, that doesn't quite do him justice.
No, as you can see, physical specimen, unbelievable guy. Still very green, right? Let's be clear about that. He is not polished, but when he moves, you can just tell this is a lifelong athlete. When he moves, you can just see there's a fluidity to it. And let's be real, he is a better athlete than Greg Sun. I don't think that's an unfair characterization at all. But Sun has seen, I think, a lot more in overall between pro and AMI in terms of what opponents can offer in a mixed martial arts cage. I also would say Greg probably has more skills that he uses.
He's very elusive.
Yes. Lochart, a bit of a headhunter, if I may. However, he gets right in front of his opponent's face. He is, I would say, consistent with his attack, but not necessarily just machine gun fire. And he just doesn't let up until the opponent goes face first. So doesn't have a wide array of skills just yet, but uses his athleticism very smartly and carefully for this stage of the game.
Well, as we check out the tail of the tape, 2 of Lockhart's finishes as an amateur were in 12 seconds or less. Lochart coming in 1-0, Sun 1-1. 4 years the elder for Greg Sun. 2-inch height advantage for Sun, identical in weight for this 180-pound catchweight bout, and Rashad Lochart with a 4-inch reach advantage. With that said, let's go back to Drew Phoenix.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Young Guns 9 co-main event of the evening. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man has a professional record of 1 win, 1 loss, standing at 6 foot 3 inches, 179 pounds, representing Fight Sports Club, Greg Blackhole Sun! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man holds a professional record of 1 win, 0 losses, standing at 6 foot 1 inches, weighing in at 179 pounds, representing Nashville MMA Training Camp, Rashad Lochart. And your referee in charge is Chris Minyoki.
Bring it in.
If I may,
Yes.
I just want to tell the audience, because I do think it's important, Greg has gotten a lot better and again, active kicker, active thrower, has not shown on tape very diligent head movement. And in fact, that was exactly what got him in trouble when he last lost. Something to pay attention to here. If he doesn't move his head, this bout won't go very long. Lochart, powerful, quick, and a headhunter.
Are you ready?
Well, it's like what you said, with Lochart being a bit of a headhunter, Greg Son's counter game is going to have to be on point tonight.
Right, so you're going to see a lot of this movement. He does a lot of this in and out, side to side.
Oh, a left hand finds a home already, and Lochart charging in.
Lochart landing a few, although Greg returning fire a little bit.
Wow.
Once again, the athleticism difference, we talked about it, it's pretty significant.
You see Greg's son, though. Oh.
And he's bleeding. He's
got the
he gets
armbar
it!
locked in! And
He
Rashad
tapped! He
Lochart,
tapped!
Yes.
That's it!
in a matter of seconds, we talk about the counter game being on point. It was precise as possible. Greg's son wearing signs of damage, but it doesn't matter because he taps out Rashad Lochart with an arm bar. Luke, that was emphatic.
So that played out, I won't say exactly as we thought, but pretty close. Not a lot of head movement. Good movement overall, though, from Greg, right? He was getting teed off on, but he had more skills. He had more ways to win, more portions of his developed game, and hit that armbar. Let's watch the whole fight again. Unbelievable, although someone's got to get that figured out.
Well, there was a powerful left hand that found a home by Rashad Lochart. It could have been the opening strike that opened up Greg's son as we check out, like you said, the entire fight here. And Rashad Lochart essentially was not respecting the offense of Greg's son. Powerful takedown there. Lochart was in tremendous shape, but Greg's son using his jiu-jitsu skills, and that was the beginning of the end.
Right, I mean, you can see here, there's where he taps. The big problem was Lochart. When Greg's son got underneath him, he got at an angle, a 90-degree angle. You have to follow their hips because that angle is how they set up triangles, arm bars.
Lochart very wild.
Right, he was just kind of going for it, and I understand why. He had his opponent rock. Hey, that was, he's only had one pro fight. But never underestimate your opponent. Never underestimate the skills of a guy, even if you might be a better athlete than him.
Greg's son told us yesterday at weigh-ins, he said, look, if you don't know how to grapple, then you don't know how to fight. He said, yeah, this guy is powerful. Yes, this guy is dangerous, but I can counter anything he throws at me. And case in point, what a moment for Greg Blackhole's son as he moves to 2-1 as we go back to Drew Phoenix.
Your referee calls an end to this fight at 32 seconds into the first round. Your winner by armbar, Greg Blackhole's son!
What a night for fight sports. Out of Boynton Beach, Irvin Enriquez and Greg's son, 2 submission victories.